Alright guys, getting into my arm day from yesterday, which was Wednesday. It's actually Thursday right now. I didn't get around to voicing over the video yet, just because of schoolwork and that type of thing. But checking in with you now for this solely arms day. And I didn't do shoulders, like I said in the past video. I did shoulders on the previous day, so we're just hitting our biceps and our triceps. And I wanted to share this routine with you guys, primarily, not just to show you me working out, but because these are arm movements that I think you'll benefit from. So just pay attention to some of these movements because training arms is something that I like, and a lot of people don't like doing it. So I think I found like a few movements that can be pretty beneficial, and I'll tell you why I do things and why I stop doing some things as much as I usually do. So we're going to start off with the barbell curl here, and we're starting off light just to warm up. That's the main reason we're starting off light. But you are going to work up to I'd say a heavy-ish weight, but I'm not really doing too heavy of a barbell curl. I'm not really doing any cheater reps or those real low rep 5 rep barbell curl sets. I'm mainly keeping it in the 10 to I want to say 20 rep range, and that's how the majority of this lift is going to go. I train arms pretty like medium to high rep. I don't really go low rep too often. I just it's never for me personally. It's just never been the type of thing where I could feel my arms best. And even when focusing on progression, I like to keep the reps in the 10 to 20 range. So this I believe is the top set of barbell curls, and there's two 10s and two 5s on each side. So that's just going to be 30 pounds on each side. And I'm not sure how much this barbell weighs, but it doesn't really matter if you guys use the same barbell. Just make sure you're adding weight to that same barbell and you'll be progressing and it'll all be good. So 4 sets total on those barbell curls before we move on to easy bar skull crushers right here. This was my last set, so I was pretty damn smoked. I got like 20 reps, and then by the time this set came, I was getting like 10 reps, and that's what you guys are going to notice. You're going to start off high rep, but if you keep the weight the same, you'll get down to like 10 by the last set. So what I did after my last set of these skull crushers, which I did 3 sets total, is I just dropped down after the third set to very light dumbbells, and I repped the dumbbells out overhead, and it really gave me a nice tricep pump. And I got like 25-ish, maybe 30 reps with these dumbbells, very, very light. I think they're only 15s. And I basically just did that to get a good pump going, get the joints really warmed up. It's still the beginning of the workout, and that's the first tricep movement. So, just wanted to make sure I felt everything really working and contracting nicely. So the next bicep movement is still relatively compound, if you will. We're using free weights still. Before we move on to more isolation type cable stuff, or I guess this all is isolation. But before we move on to constant tension stuff, sometimes I like to put the free weight stuff in the beginning of the workouts, and that's just a lot of the times how I train arms. But these curls are, something where you might find with a little bit of swing you can go heavy, and I think there is a place for that. There's a place for cheating. But like I said, this arm workout and many arm workouts, you won't really find me doing that too much. As of lately, at least. I mean, in the past, yes, I have. But I'm just using the 30s here, guys. And I'm really, really focusing on the supination portion of this curl. So as you see, you actually are moving your wrist when you bring the dumbbell up. And the reason this curl is so good is because when you start out with a pronated grip, you're focusing on the longer head, the brachialis of the biceps, and as you bring the dumbbell up towards yourself and contract the bicep, and you get that peak contraction at the top, the peak of the bicep is also known as the short head, and that's what you contract when you basically supinate the dumbbell, which is turn your wrist towards yourself. When you do that, you're hitting like both heads of the bicep in the same curl, and it's really beneficial because not only are you twisting when you come up, but when you come back down, you're twisting. And obviously at the end of these sets, your twisting might get a little bit sloppier, but like I said in the past, if you're going to keep the same weight for each set of these exercises, you'll just end up starting off at maybe 20 reps, but you'll get down to like 10, and that's fine because you're still getting in a good amount of volume, and that's just how it will go. I'd rather do that than take a long rest period. That's another thing. With arms, I'll rest, but I like to keep it a minute, really, a minute max. I don't like to rest too long just because I feel like I get mentally out of it. Arms are one of those things where you do get a pump. As much as people want to say the pump doesn't matter, well, when you're doing an arm day, you get a pretty damn good pump. And if you're going to be mentally in it with the pump, it does matter. So getting into I think this is the second tricep exercise, and we have rope pushdowns. Now, guys, rope pushdowns are something that I literally, I just neglected these for the longest part of my training career. I just didn't really do that much pushing for my triceps. I didn't do that much. I didn't really do dip. I still don't do dips. And I do regret that because these types of exercises, the push downs, the dips, they're going to isolate primarily the lateral head, which is that outer head of the tricep. And what I've always done personally is a lot of overhead tricep work, like that first movement you saw me do. And that's great. Overhead is really good. It's going to add beef to the arm because that's the long head of the tricep. And that's why a lot of people will see my arms and they'll be like, wow, you have really big triceps. Well, I do, but it's mainly the long head. And that's why these days you're going to see me throwing in more push downs because I need to bring up the lateral head. That's definitely a weaker part of my tricep in terms of proportions. And it might sound really nitpicky, but that's basically the type of tricep training I'm doing now. And I recommend you guys incorporate all different types. You need to do push downs and you need to do overheads for sure. So these isolated curls are, honestly, I haven't done these a ton in the past, but I just decided to do them because I was already on the cables, and I can definitely vouch for them. If you're going to take your time and do them correctly, you're going to get a good pump, a good squeeze, and unilateral movements in general are just really beneficial because very, very few people have exactly even arms. You got to keep that in mind. I mean, I'd be hard-pressed to say that even professional bodybuilders have even arms. There's minute differences in just about everybody's genetic structure when it comes to symmetry. So when you can isolate one side of the body at a time, I think it's extremely valuable, which is why on this last movement for triceps, we're doing the same thing. And this is actually a reverse grip push down. And this does put some, strain, or I don't even want to say strain because for me it doesn't really hurt, but it takes some forearm strength to hold on to the bar. And I guess that's another pro because when you're doing a reverse grip, I guess you got to flex your forearm a little more. But personally, for some reason, I just feel this in my tricep in a different way. And I don't do them too often either, but I decided to do them today, and I will definitely recommend them to you guys as far as pushing exercises go. So 2 pushing exercises, push down exercises for the triceps to really get that lateral head going. As you saw on the first tricep exercise, we started out with an overhead movement. So that's 3 total tricep movements for this workout, 2 focusing on the lateral head, outer head, and 1 overhead movement focusing on the long head. And then we did 3 total bicep exercises, and the supinated curl did hit each head of the bicep. The isolated curl was more so just a supination, focusing on the short head of the bicep. And the first barbell curl is relatively compound movement that really is going to add some nice beef, quote-unquote beef, to your biceps. Definitely recommend all these movement, guys. Enjoy the rest of the video. I will catch you in the next one. What's up, guys? Post-workout meal about to go down. You know what we got? Oats. Throw in the cinnamon right here, about 4 packets of Splenda in there, and some chicken. Shout out to Nick Petrie for giving me this little concoction of, well, he said it in a video actually, hot sauce. I'm using this Cholula. I highly recommend Cholula. This is the Chipotle flavor. I actually really like it. And some ketchup. So if you combine the ketchup and the hot sauce, it's damn good. So thanks, Nick, for that. I actually am a big fan now. So I'm going to eat this, guys. Comment, like, subscribe if you enjoyed this one. Follow me on Insta. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Until then, peace out.